Hey everybody, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches and welcome to my channel. Today I am coming to you with another quilt top finish. If you don't know, I have created for myself a challenge to make 60 quilt tops by my 60th birthday. That will happen May 30th, 2029. So I have 6 years to get these tops done. I have right now this is top number 2, and I have completed my 3rd top. I was excited about this one, and I know that many of you know, if you've watched this video right here, you'll know which top I'm talking about. These are some Dresden plate blocks that I got at a thrift store. I got it at my local creative reuse store. They were probably mid-century, maybe a little bit before. Definitely had some 1950s fabrics in them, and so they're very they're old. They were old, and the background fabric was off-white. So I'm gonna try to insert some pictures somewhere in here, but I soaked these fabrics, and let me tell you, they stunk. They smelled like something a cross between 70 years of living in a house with cigarette smoke and mothballs. It was disgusting. Now, I used Retro Clean to wash all of my vintage fabrics. And I'm talking about true vintage, not stuff that, you know, maybe is 5 or 6 years old. I'm talking true 1900s fabrics I soak. So I always soak them with that. It's an amazing cleaner. In fact, I rinsed it out and added some more after 15 minutes, and the people at Retro Clean, Retro Soak told me, no, leave it in there. It's still working, and it works up to 48 hours. So there's a little tip for you guys. Continue soaking it even when the water stinks and looks nasty. So anyway, so when I took them out of this nasty water, they were no longer a beige background. They were a pretty white background, maybe a little off-white, but definitely not as nicotine beige as they were before. So anyway, so I'm glad I soaked them. I trimmed them down because they were huge blocks, which if you do a Dresden plate, usually you make, or any kind of applique, you make your block a little bit bigger because it is going to pull in, and then you trim it to the size you want. So I trimmed it down. I trimmed the blocks down. And I went ahead and I was going to put a border on them. And I knew I wanted a pink border. And I looked at my 1930s solids that I had, and I couldn't find anything that I really liked. That I had enough of. I probably could have used 2 of them that were very similar, and I'm looking for them, and they're not right here. I even went out and bought a green from Hobby Lobby, but I really just wanted pink. Well, my husband and I went to my favorite thrift store, and I found new in package, I'll show you the package right here, this vintage sheet. Now, it was still, the package was toast, but this is it right here. And this right here is what I got. So when I first saw it, I thought they were pillowcases in pink, green, and purple. That's what I thought they were. Like 3 separate pillowcases. But they weren't. It's a sheet with this, you can see right here, it's got a green band and a purple, thin purple. I've ripped them all apart. And I'll talk about those 2 parts later. But this was it right here. And then this is the color of the pink. I love it. It's very bright. It's new. I didn't wash it. That was mistake number 1. Usually when I sew with vintage sheets, they're used. And so they're softer, and this was not soft. It's very stiff. It's 50-50 polyester cotton. It says right here that it is 50% Codal polyester, whatever that means, and 50% cotton. Wonder cow. Okay. So, you know, I'm thinking this is probably, there's no year on this, but I'm thinking late 60s, early 70s. That's what I'm thinking this is. Okay. So this is what I used to sew borders around my blocks. So I got them all on, got my blocks soaked, I got them trimmed down, and I stitched these borders. And I halfway through, I was like, do I really want to use this? Because my plan is to take this quilt and fully quilt it and hang it up behind our bed. We have a king size bed in our room, but no headboard, and the bed needs an anchor. We've always had either windows behind us or a headboard or something, and now we just have this bed floating on a wall. And so we need an anchor. For me, I need an anchor of some sort behind my bed. So I hemmed and hawed because I was going to also use this on the back. And like I said, I didn't wash it before, so it is stiff. I didn't bother washing it because I knew that this quilt would probably, in my lifetime at least, never get washed. It might get shaken out, but I don't plan on washing it because it's not going to be used as a quilt. It's going to be used as a wall hanging. And so I didn't really think, oh, let me go ahead and wash this quilt, wash the fabric. And they're vintage blocks, they're hand appliqued, and so I really just did not want to go there. So that's why I didn't bother washing this. So what I decided to do when I do machine quilt it, I will probably just use muslin. I have about a bolt and a half of muslin that was my mom's. Aside from one other project, it's good muslin too. It's good quality muslin, so it's not like the cheap muslin that I would use for string blocks or something like that. So I've just decided that I'm probably not going to use this on the back. I've got a whole queen size sheet of it. I mean, it's a flat sheet, so it's huge. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of it. I might wash it and use them for string blocks. I haven't decided. But anyway, that's for a later decision. So that's what I did. So I went ahead and I got it together, and the top is done. It would have been done sooner, but I really just hemmed and hawed about the pink that I wanted to use. Did I want to use two pinks that were subtly different that I may or may not have enough of? Did I want to go out and buy some fabric? And then when I saw this, I think I paid $3 for this sheet. So it's not like it's, it wasn't that expensive. So anyway, so that was kind of what took me so long. And then once I started sewing with it, I was like, ugh, do I want to continue this? Do I want to continue it? It's a wall hanging. The blocks are gorgeous. Whoever did them did a wonderful job. I would love to meet the maker of this quilt. But, sadly, that's probably not possible. I don't even know where, the thrift store got these from. But, so anyway, so that's the story of this quilt. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pause you guys, and I'm going to hang the quilt up, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Okay, so here it is. You can't see the top row of blocks, and my curtain rod that I used to hang these things up on is a little bit smaller than it needs to be. So I kind of have you at an angle so that you can take a look at it. So here it is. This is the quilt. This is how it turned out. I am in love with it. Like I said, it's a Dresden plate block. Let's scooch myself this way. I love these greens. I actually thought about using a green in there to bring it out, but I really just wanted pink. I don't know why, but I just really, every Dresden plate quilt that I looked at on Pinterest had pink sashing, and I just wanted to go with that. I just, for some reason, thought it would be so pretty. I'm noticing that these blocks right here all have, the majority of them except for this center one right here, these 9. And not that one on the end right there, but most of them have this green. But up there, when you look at that one does not. The top row does not have any of the green. I love this quilt. I think it came out really great. I'm glad I was able to finish it. For whoever started it, I would love to know what her vision was on it, what her dream was to see it, to see it done. I would love to know all that, but of course I never will. So I hope I did her some justice in finishing this for her. Now I have 12 more Dresden plates. They're not appliqued. They're just, and I should have brought them, but I didn't. They're not applique. They're just Dresden plates. There's no center. There's, you know, there's no background fabric, nothing. So that is something that's probably going to come up in the next couple of years when I do my 60 by 60s. It'll probably come up again, and I'll do something else with those. Again, I don't think I want it to be a quilt that is going to be washed a lot. So I don't know. It's going to take some thought process for me to figure out what I want to do. But anyway, this is it. It needs a good pressing. There's no pressing. Has not been pressed yet. So it does need a good pressing. It is, I'm actually shocked that for the most part, these little guys right here matched up. I'm kind of impressed with that. That was it's something I never considered. And then I was watching somebody once and they were showing how to do it. And I was like, I never really thought about that. And so I tried it with this and it came out really, really good. I wish I could remember who it was that showed how to match up blocks, but I can't remember. I can't remember who it was, but I love this quilt. I love the way it turned out. I love everything about it. I can't wait to get it quilted and hanging up on the wall behind our bed. And then I can hopefully show you guys how that is done. Don't know when I'll get that done, but that is something that I am hoping to do soon. This is probably going to be the first one of all my quilts that I finish, unless there's another project that I want to work on. The wheel has not picked it up yet, but when the wheel does pick it up, it is a Quilt As You Go project. And so that, of course, would probably get done before this one, depending on when it gets called up. Anyway, this is it. This is my thrift store Dresden plate block quilt. I love it. I love it. So far, I've done 3. This is my 3rd, and I am just thrilled with each one of them. And so, what is going to be my next quilt? Well, I spun the wheel, and it came out with, I should use a layer cake. There it is right there. So I do have a layer cake that I want to use, and it's by Benartex. I picked this up at Tuesday Morning, back when Tuesday Morning A had good fabric and B was open. I picked this up in Franklin, Tennessee when we lived in Franklin, and I paid $20 for it, which I think is a good price for a layer cake. It says compare to $40. And so anyway, so this is my layer cake that I'm going to use. There's a couple of quilt patterns that I have that I'm thinking about doing. I have a ton of layer cakes, so if I don't make one of them with this pattern, this layer cake, it'll come around again. So anyway, so that's going to be my 4th 60 by 60. And I want to thank y'all for coming with me. I want to thank y'all for watching. If you've just caught this video because YouTube is recommended, please consider subscribing. I do quilt videos, cross stitch videos, around the house type. I haven't done any of those yet, but mostly it's quilting and cross stitching and maybe every now and then crochet. But this is it, and I am going to try to con my oldest son to hold this thing up for me. He's 6'4", so he should be able to hold it up pretty good for me. So I'm going to try to con him into holding it so I can take a picture, and I'll insert this at the end of this video so you guys can take a good look at it. Thank you again so much for coming with me, and I will see you guys next time I make a video. Thank you. Bye-bye.